Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. All right, so I've already talked in the past about how the American Rescue Plan is largely corporate welfare. 65% of the money that goes to the American Rescue Plan bails out corporations. It leads to its corporate welfare. Well, now the Biden infrastructure plan is taking that and pretty much putting it on steroids. This is, when you're doing corporate welfare, what you're doing is, guess what? Trickle down economics. And here I'm going to focus first and foremost on one thing. Let's look at the plan to help renters, and so let's go to this. And one of the first things I want to mention about this is that this emergency rental assistance program, all right, this is the original. And I want you to notice something, that first and foremost, this began under Trump. Here's your evidence for that. Completed payment information and assigned acceptance of award terms form generally must be submitted not later than 11:59 p.m. on January 12th, 2021. To ensure payments are made within the 30-day period specified by the statute. So this emergency rental assistance program began under Trump because the deadline was 8 days before Biden ever took office. And that had included $25 billion, which was way insufficient. All right. Now, the funds are provided directly to states, U.S. territories, local governments, and Indian tribes. Grantees use the funds to provide assistance to eligible households through existing or newly created rental assistance programs. Who decides whether you are eligible? The states and different entities. And guess what? If they decide you're not eligible, let's say they want to gentrify a certain area that you live in. Well, guess what? You're not eligible. And if you think that's not happening or going to happen, you're dead wrong. All right, so this does not go to the households. This goes to the landowners, the property owners. Households and landlords must apply through programs established by grantees. In general, funds will be paid directly to landlords and utility service providers. If a landlord does not wish to participate, funds may be paid directly to the eligible household. Okay, so that last part, if the landlord doesn't participate, then it can be paid to the renter. And that's good, okay? But the thing about this is that it does not place any kind of limit on the size of the landlord. And just like the PPP, they can make this so difficult for small landlords to even apply, to get into that system, that they may not be able to even do this, or it may wind up that they wind up having to pay, lawyers and so forth, so much that it winds up not being worth the cost. But when you're talking about big corporations that have lawyers on retainer, then yeah, they're going to be able to get into this program, and they will get paid. The other problem with this program is that who determines how much the renter owes? The landlord determines how much the renter owes. How much, that is not like they're going to claim that the renter owes as much as the landlord needs to pay off, to bring their commercial mortgage. Just a moment. All right, sorry about that phone call. So, what happens is that the landlord includes their profit margin, which can include also late fees that they want to tack on top of this, if that is allowed under the moratorium. So, and I'm not sure about that. Maybe the moratorium doesn't allow the late fees. I haven't looked into that part. But no matter what happens is that the federal government winds up paying corporate landlords, you think, property management companies that own thousands of apartments, hundreds of residential properties, what have you. And they pay for the corporate profits. All right? So this is corporate welfare. This is trickle-down economics, which in the case of, landlords, there's not much that's going to trickle down, is there? In fact, there is nothing that is going to trickle down because any employees they've got have already been paid. This bails out banks if a commercial mortgage is behind. Then the first thing the landlord is going to do is pay the banks. So, and this is all just absolute bullshit. If they really wanted to, help the renters, if they really wanted to straighten out the economy, then they could enact legislation so that, the landlords get paid enough to bring their mortgage up to date and wipe out all rent up to this point. Everything breaks even. You're not paying for corporate profits. Yes, okay, pay for any losses from actual expenses up to this point, mortgages, labor, etc. Okay, that would be fine, but paying for the profit on top of that, which is what the landlords are going to assess and say that all the renters owe, that is a whole different matter. This is not unreasonable. This is not unreasonable by any means. So, the other thing, okay, the infrastructure plan is getting attacked from many different sides, saying that for infrastructure, it is insufficient. Even when Biden was campaigning, he was talking about $7 trillion for infrastructure. And now this bill only offers $2 trillion. Estimates range anywhere for bringing our infrastructure just up to date, okay, just repairing broken infrastructure. Estimates range anywhere from 4 trillion all the way up to 16 trillion. Now, if you really want, and he talks about, this will create, millions of good paying union jobs. Okay, if you really want to create stable jobs and fix infrastructure, what you do is you create federal jobs for that purpose. This bill is actually going to pay corporate construction companies and so forth, and their profit margin on top of that. When you remove that profit margin and put that money actually into the infrastructure, you get, 30%, 40%. Look at what has happened with things that have been contracted out. Look at the F-35. Look at infrastructure projects that do not meet the deadline. Does that mean that they still have to complete the project without getting paid more? No, that never happens. They still keep getting paid until the project is completed. Just like the F-35, it did not meet the deadline. They had to keep on and on and on, and the price kept on going up and up and up and up. And it's still a piece of shit. And the same thing happens with infrastructure. We can't meet the deadline. We used the wrong materials. There's always more and more added on and added on and added on. The price of construction materials went up. Okay. That should have been accounted for in the initial estimate. But those estimates are not worth anything. They're never worth anything. It is intended that they are lowballed, and it's always going to cost more than the estimate, than the bid which was offered. That bid doesn't mean anything. And the bids wind up being nepotism, crony capitalism, favoritism, no bid contracts. So it's always who pays off the government entity or people within a government entity that make the decisions that wind up getting the contracts. Whoever is getting kickbacks is the one making the decisions on these contracts. Now, another criticism about this is that this is not $2 trillion for a single year. This is $2 trillion spread out over 8 years, 10 years, something like that. He talks about, increasing care for elderly and disabled, but it does not include in any way training and education to actually bring people in. We already have a shortage of medical personnel, and with the past year, the number of medical personnel has decreased, and there are fewer people coming in because people are scared to go into the medical field now, because now they know the dangers which people like myself have known from the time that we went into that field. If we didn't, people that didn't know it when they begin medical training understand it by the time that they graduate. By the time you have that license in your hand, you understand just how dangerous the medical field can be. And yet there are still people that would enter the medical field, but it costs so much and it requires such a commitment. Nursing school, medical school, these are full-time endeavors. You don't go to nursing school full or medical school part-time. This is full-time. And you spend all of your time outside of school doing, homework just to be able to pass your courses. And the more serious you are about it, the more time you spend on all of that homework and so forth, because this is what you really want to do. So if you really want to increase care, you include education. And you make that part of this bill. In fact, the medical part of this should not be in an infrastructure bill. This should be something off and separate by itself. Pardon me, I'm allergic to where I'm at right now. So all of this, it goes to, if you're going to increase, care for people, that means what? Paying corporations to hire people if they can hire people. And with the shortage of people, that means you're going to bring in less and less qualified people. You're going to be bringing in more unqualified people to provide that care. You cannot take a static amount or declining amount of medical care providers and increase care. Even if you have qualified people and you're going to provide care to more people, what you're going to do is increase the number of patients that each nurse, CNA, doctor is actually taking care of, and you're going to decrease the quality of care and make the outcomes worse. But the corporation still makes more money. This is trickle-down economics. This is corporate welfare. These are the results of corporate welfare. In all cases, you wind up with more profits at the top and worse outcomes at the bottom, and yet you are paying for it. You will be paying for it. Your children will be paying for it. Your grandchildren will be paying for it. Share this video. Talk about these subjects. Talk about them. If you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel. I'll catch you in the next one.